What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Peter Parkour of the Distorted Theorists, and I am here today to react to the official trailer for Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out Mystery, coming to Netflix and theaters. Incorporated. It's a long title for a long movie. So, before I get into anything, a little bit of housekeeping as always. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you're returning to the channel, make sure to hit that like, share, and comment down below anything that you love about the Knives Out mysteries, because we always love interacting with our fans and commenters and viewers. So, I'm not going to talk too much before we get into the trailer, but I just want to do a little bit of a recap. This is the third movie from Rian Johnson's series, which is Knives Out Mysteries, obviously starting out with Knives Out, and then The Glass Onion, and now we're at Wake Up Dead Man. Now, the thing I love about these movies is they're very similar to the whodunit movies of yore, where we've got big name actors in cast, like Murder on the Orient Express and other ones that I can't think of right now. They're kind of bottled episodes, they're self-contained, but they're very cool in terms of it's really hard to tell who the murderer is. I loved the first one. I really got into the second one as well, and this one has a lot of potential as well. I haven't seen anything on it before. I don't think I did a reaction to the teaser. I don't believe I have, but we are going to be diving into the third escapade, or at least televised or filmed escapade of Detective Benoit Blanc. So, without further ado, let's get into the trailer review, reaction, and breakdown of Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out Mystery.
You're the only one on stage with the Monsignor at the time of his killing.
We got Mila Kunis.
You're the only one
Chuck
at that
is
church who hated his guts.
The spirit really moved him today, huh?
So tell me, what the hell happened?
Oh. Starting it off.
Everyone thinks I did it. I didn't do it.
This goes way beyond normal police work. This is something even I have not experienced. A perfectly impossible crime.
This case is solvable, right?
I'm incapable of not solving a crime. Oh, you'll see. It's fun.
Wicks had a vast family fortune.
If made public, can ruin people.
God forbid.
It is time to discover what this flock of wicked wolves is hiding.
There's some Scooby-Doo shit going on here.
Scooby-Doo. With all the pieces on the table, this crime appears impossible.
But how?
Makes me sick. These kids painting rocket ships all over his sacred resting place.
Yeah, the good old rocket ship. Wow. Now, I'm just going to go back a little bit there because I want to capture, see if I can actually get there. It's hard to do because I'm not super savvy with the editing and stuff. Look at the cast. Because I did see, I couldn't remember his name. I had to see it when I leaned in there for Thomas Hayden Church is in this because he was the janitor, the groundskeeper. There we go. Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close, Josh Brolin. That was Josh Brolin? I completely missed that. Okay, Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner, Kerry Washington. Okay, Andrew Scott. Andrew Scott, that's his name. Kaylee Spaney and Daryl McCormack. I'm not familiar. Or maybe I am. I don't know. So this is obviously what we're going to be getting into is an impossible mystery. So what we saw with the first movie was a crime that was ultimately, I believe it was an accidental suicide. I don't know if I can say that to get demonetized or anything like that, but it was one of those ones where it was it was an accident, but it was actually not made to be an accident because of something that someone else did. I won't spoil the actual like who did what or anything like that. And then I honestly can't remember. I remember who died in Glass Onion, but I can't remember exactly how it went about. But again, that was the bottle episode. They were on an island and they couldn't get off because obviously they had to solve this. And then that was that story. And then this one, now we're seeing this the impossible crime. Now, how it was impossible, we don't know. Obviously, we'll have to wait until this gets released in theaters or gets released on Netflix. But it's now like the stakes have been raised. It's a different situation for Detective Benoit Blanc, and this is what's and all the characters they're tied into each other. Maybe not totally, but that's the great thing about these movies, is you start to question, well, like, well, it could have been them. Well, was it this person? Was it? Sometimes you get into these whodunit and bottle episodes. You're like, oh, well, it's the famous person that's in this episode. It's clearly going to be them. When Justin Bieber was in CSI, we were like, well, I think it was totally he was going to be the killer anyways. But it's like, you're kind of figuring it's going to be them, and it, for the most part, is. In this case, there's a lot of big names in this movie. So who's it going to be? And they Knives Out kind of came out of nowhere initially. It was one of those movies that like I wasn't even interested in until I saw people talking about it. It was the same thing with Arcane. It was the same thing with Squid Game and Blue Eyed Samurai. Some of all these other shows that I've fallen in love with, I had to wait for someone else to tell me about them. But in this case, I'm kind of ahead of the eight ball because, we knew about Glass Onion and I knew how good that was going to be. And now this has already been getting rave reviews. At least they're showing what the rave reviews are going to be. They're not going to say like, this is great, it's a masterpiece, I hated it. They're not going to do something like that. So I'm super impressed with what we've seen so far. We're going to have to try and figure out what the twist of this is going to be. So I gotta say, I'm super excited for this one. I don't really know what to go on again with this because I can't talk about special effects. I can't talk about the storyline because each story is contained within its own movie. I don't know if this is something that has already taken place. This is one of the stories that made Benoit Blanc famous, or if this is a continuation of a storyline, as in this is the third behind the camera story. So I'm very much looking forward to this. I love these shows and these movies that make you think, and this is clearly going to be one of those. So what it's going to come down to with The Wire is, has Rian Johnson done it again? The reviews say so, but again, those are the Washington Herald, the New York Post, whatever, New York Times, whatever, all these people that are going to say, are going to throw all these positive ways of doing it. But for me, the humble reviewer and reactor, is this going to be as big and as successful as the other ones? God, I hope so, because I'd like to see 20 more of these. But anyways, that's going to be it for me. As always, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. If you're not new to the channel, if you're returning to the channel, make sure to hit that like, share, and comment down below what you thought of Knives Out and Glass Onion. Let us know where you think this is going to, how the impossible murder is going to be committed and how it's going to be solved. If you know the story, don't spoil it for anybody. And where do you think, and where would you like to see the Knives Out series go from here? So with that, I am Peter Parkour of the Distorted Theorists, and like we always say around here, keep it real.